Wow, what a complete shock. Out of nowhere, the Lakers made a big transaction today. No, not trading for a player, not signing a player, but making a gigantic change to their ownership. And yes, meaning they have sold the majority stake of the Lakers, meaning that Jeanie Buss, the Buss family, are no longer the primary owners of the Los Angeles Lakers. They've sold it to Mark Walter, the CEO and chairman of diversified holding company TWG Global, and he now becomes the chairman and official majority stake owner of the Los Angeles Lakers. Definitely a shocker again. This came out of nowhere. We had no indication that Jeanie Buss or the Buss family were looking to sell the Lakers, and why not that might be. I mean, as far as I know, I heard nothing about Jeanie Buss or the Buss family looking to sell the Lakers, that they were intending to or even looking to put them on the market. So this one definitely did come as a shock. Mark Walter buying them, likely for a all-time price tag that might be one of, if not the biggest selling fee in sports history, and definitely at least United States sports history in my opinion. I would be willing to take that bet. Probably anywhere from 5 to 10 billion. Wouldn't be shocked by that, but again, we have yet to see the numbers, so I guess we'll find out. And it definitely has gigantic implications for the team going forward. Now keep in mind that the Buss family is not out. They're not completely done with the team, and Jeanie Buss will remain in a role with the team, remaining the governor of the team even after the sale, which means that she will oversee stuff for the team yet, doesn't have complete control, and won't be the ultimate decider for anything in regard to trades, signings, whatever it might be. They no longer have to give her final say on it. She might have a part of it, but it won't be all completely her anymore. Again, she definitely will be a part of it, staying in that governor role for their team, and I'm not exactly sure what that will or won't mean exactly, how much power she has yet, how much say she has for anything, and team moves in general. I guess we'll find that out. But ultimately, she won't have the final say anymore. That will be Mark Walter and the team that he now brings in. You know, will that mean a change to their team in either regard to general manager, president, anything in between all that? That's definitely up in the air here. Meaning that guys like Rob Pelinka, his role might be in jeopardy. Not in the short term, but definitely more in the long term compared to before. That could be a possibility here. Then in regard to paying the luxury tax, some fans have had a problem or think they've had a problem with the Buss family with that, and we'll talk more about that in a bit here and why that actually might not be an issue, or maybe even less of an issue going forward. If the problem will be with the Buss family and retaining their current personnel group, everything again from Rob Pelinka down to their scouting department, which largely has been filled by the younger Buss brothers, and they've done a tremendous job in my opinion. There could be plenty of changes going forward. And well, that could be either for the better, or potentially for the worse here as well. I mean, I know everyone likes to act like Jeanie Buss, and the Buss family has been terrible post-Jerry Buss in 2013, and I would agree with you if you're talking about Jim Buss and the Mitch Kupchak era. That was definitely not a fun time to be a Laker fan, definitely not the highlight to my Laker fandom, and I'm very glad that those two are gone. But simply talking about Jeanie Buss, her kind of team and ownership group with her time frame with the Lakers, being at the top of that from roughly 2018 to now 2025, it's really not been that bad. In fact, there have definitely been plenty of highlights. Getting LeBron James for one, which although some fans might not agree with, he was part of a championship team for their team, their only championship in that time frame, and their only championship dating back to 2010, so that definitely is a highlight. Not only that though, but even going above and beyond for their team financially too. Again, I know fans like to act like they never pay the luxury tax, many calling Jeanie Buss and the entire Buss family cheap per se, but that's definitely not been true. Talking about the luxury tax and the NBA luxury tax history, dating back to 2001 when paying the luxury tax became a thing, or at least when it's been followed anyway, the Lakers paid the luxury tax more than any other team in that time frame, paying it 14 out of the possible 21 years here, or roughly 23 I guess now, this is a slightly old article, paying well over $200 million in luxury tax, probably even closer to 300 with the accurate numbers totaled up here. But again, they have paid it more than any other team, more years than any other team, and have been in it for longer than any other team. So they've definitely not been cheap, and they definitely have done their diligence in regard to financial responsibility and paying the luxury tax too. So they definitely have not been cheap per se. Yes, I would agree they have had financial miscalculations, the big one obviously being Alex Caruso, one of my favorite Laker role players of all time, and probably the thing I've been most mad at Jeanie Buss and their entire ownership group about, not paying Alex Caruso, instead going the Talen Horton-Tucker route, and we won't go too far down this rabbit hole, but that is the one thing I'd point to. Letting him go primarily in regard to financial, not wanting to pay him, and letting him go to a different team for more money, rather than keeping him and paying him to stick around with their team. That's the one thing I would point to and would agree with. Apart from that though, definitely have not been a financial problem with the ownership, definitely have not had a luxury tax problem or paying the luxury tax problem. That's not something I would point to. But for everything else, I guess you could point a few things out. Everything in regard to going the extra mile in trades or whatever it might be, being willing to pull the trigger on a few players, being a bit more aggressive rather than patient and relaxed. That's something you can point to with Jeanie Buss, or trickling down to the guy she hired with Rob Pelinka, also with that too, which has been both for the good and the bad at times too. And well, I guess the question now becomes, will that change with Mark Walter? I mean, he does have a net worth of only $6.1 billion after all, so I guess a little bit more than the Buss family. Not entirely sure what their net worth was, or simply Jeanie Buss, but he definitely does have a higher net worth than them, and may or may not be willing to pay more luxury tax penalty, may or may not be willing to spend more in free agency or whatever you're talking about, spend more in trades. Will he be more aggressive, less aggressive, and how will the approach be different compared to Jeanie Buss and the entire Buss family when they were the majority owners of the team? So we really can't point to anything with him. If you want to point to him as a businessman, then obviously he's been very aggressive, owning and founding multiple different businesses and co-founding different businesses too. Definitely being pretty aggressive in that regard, and obviously having a very high net worth. Definitely is pretty smart money-wise, but will that translate to operating and overseeing a major sports franchise well? That's up for debate, and that's yet to be seen. And I guess pointing to a different team in a kind of similar situation, the Dallas Mavericks for example, transferring the ownership from Mark Cuban, then him selling it back in 2024 if I remember correctly, maybe late 2023, and a whole bunch of stuff changed for them. One of which being how they saw their current star player, that obviously being Luka Doncic, who now happens to be a Los Angeles Laker, how they operate and run the team. It's been a bit different than before. So that might be something to watch out for with the Lakers, how they change their approach and how they manage the team going forward. Will even a guy like LeBron be more or less a part of it? Will he want to stick around for it? And might he want to retire early or move on from their team because of it? All of that is now a serious question and will be very interesting to watch play out. Again, Jeanie Buss will be part of the team. Rob Pelinka remains their president and current general manager. Nothing immediate is going to change that much, but little by little, year after year, we might see it happen, much like the Dallas Mavericks have already undergone changes too, much to the chagrin of their former owner, Mark Cuban. And well, with that in mind here, what do you guys think? How do you feel about the Lakers selling their majority ownership, the Buss family no longer being the majority owners for roughly the first time in 50 years now, and how that might affect and change the team over time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one, and if you enjoyed the video, then I would greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.